Honestly, I've not ever sold cars when there wasn't a post-pandemic happening. So we cannot say the excuse of, oh, it's the market. It's
Right.
also staying in contact with all of those customers. You stop talking to them for 3 days, guess what? Your competition is out there texting them right now.
Let me ask you a question. Did you come here to listen to money or make it? This is L.A. Williams, the blind master. And Sean V. Bradley and I came here for one reason and one reason only. And that's to fill your pockets with money. Now how are we gonna do it? By giving you the secrets, techniques, and strategies for you to stop losing and start winning at this game called automotive professional sales.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and the president of Dealer Synergy in the house. And I got a very special guest here. So again, before I let you know who she is, she's part of the amazing Koons Automotive Group that just got acquired by the Asbury Automotive Group. So these are the juggernauts. These are the Leviathans. These are the A-list people in the industry right now. So again, I want to introduce you to my guest, Brenna Chin. She's the product specialist at Koons Woodbridge Kia. So welcome to the show.
Hello, hello. It's nice to meet everybody.
All right, so let's just jump into it. First of all, congratulations to the Koons Automotive Group to get acquired by Asbury. I mean, like they have 160 something rooftops or something crazy like that.
Yes, they're a huge industry.
Yeah, so does that feel good that you're part of a gazillion dollar, you know what I mean? Because they bought you guys for a couple $1 billion. So if somebody's buying somebody for billions of dollars, they got to have a lot of billions of dollars for that, right?
Yes, no, it's exciting to work for such a big group. I'm excited to see how the transition goes. Hopefully it's smooth, but I'm excited to see where it all goes.
Well, listen, corporate thinks the world of you, okay? Because again, I've done some podcast and interviews with the Koons Automotive Group, and what we want to do is this: we want to identify and celebrate, people that are doing things incredible. And what corporate had said to me is that, you are very, very successful. From my understanding, you're, selling about 20 cars. You hit 22 and a half cars in a month. But the crazy part is you've only been in the automotive industry about 9 months.
Mm-hmm. Yes, only about 9 months.
Holy cow. So in the middle of a post-pandemic protocol, you've only been selling cars for 9 months and you already broke 22 and a half units. Well, first of all, we're getting into the secret sauce here. What did you do before car sales?
For 8 years, I was part of a medical industry. I worked as a certified nursing assistant. So I worked along nurses all through COVID, actually. It was a blessing, I should say.
That is crazy to me because you see on news, all the stuff, how serious that whole situation was. And you were right there in the middle of all that stuff, saving lives and trying to help people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Much respect. First of all, seriously, that's scary stuff. And, God bless you for doing all that you did. Mm-hmm. So what was a transition from saving the world, literally, you know what I mean, in a global pandemic to selling cars? How did that happen?
I just needed a little bit of more of a switch. So originally I'm actually from Central Illinois, so not even from the Virginia area. So I moved here about a year ago and saw an opportunity in car sales. I was like, you know what? My family's always been in dealerships. My family's always sold cars or worked in the finance aspect. How about I give it a shot? And I ended up falling in love with it, just like my uncle, my mom, and a couple of other people who have worked car sales in the past in my family.
Oh, wow. So you had people in your family doing car sales?
Yes, that is correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what did your family say when you're like, okay, after 8 years in medical, I'm going to go into the dealership world? Were they shocked? Were they happy? Were they surprised? What was the...
Shocked and happy. My uncle was kind of happy that I was following along in his footsteps because he's worked in it for a very long time now. I can put the pinpoint on it. But also shocked because, again, I had almost completed nursing school and just got to the point where it kind of was draining a little bit. I won't lie. So when I told that I wanted to make the switch, everybody was kind of on my side about it, but also saying I cannot believe you're doing this at the same time.
No, again, I think it's incredible. And so to be able to sell 22 and a half cars in less than 9 months is really strong. Just to let you know, the national average is about 9 cars. The average car salesperson sells only 9 cars. So you more than doubled what the national average is. How strong is it because of your video strategy? Because that's what corporate believes. Corporate says that you guys are using co-video, which is like a bomb type thing. It's a video email, video text messaging platform. Would you say that video has been a big part of your success?
It has been, because before the customer even comes in to see me, they know what I look like. They kind of know my personality a little bit. I try to, get them excited about what they're about to come and see. And not only that, but go over and see the car besides looking at all of the pictures that you're going to see on websites. So I definitely love using it. I feel like it's a really great resource to get customers involved and also interactive in their vehicle search.
So I'm assuming, are these internet leads that you are following up with, or who are you video emailing? Because obviously if they came into the dealership, they've already seen you. So this is a strategy you're getting to get people to come to you, correct?
So I use it for internet leads, but as well as phone ups. As soon as that I acquire that number, I'd be like, hey, this is who you just spoke to. This is the vehicle that we just talked about. Please, this is me. Also kind of introducing so that they understand who they're going to come see before, or even for appointment confirmations. I do love using them for that as well. Just so, again, I can get them excited. They know who I am, and as well as what vehicle they're going to be seeing when they come down. If they did
let's go. Let me break this down. I want us to train, the group and the podcast listeners out there. So let's do one at a time. Phone ups. So it's part of your standard operating procedure that every single phone up, without exception, without fail, after you get off the phone, you're going to create a video and then you're going to send it. How do you send it? Do you video email it, or do you video text message it, or do you both?
If it's a phone up, I do it via text, because obviously they're using their phone, they're using their number. I text them immediately from my personal number so that they have me directly.
Okay, great. So I love this. So you sell Kias. So let's just say this is a real thing. Sean Bradley calls you as a phone up. You answer the phone. You walk through it. Let's say I'm looking at a 2024 Telluride. Okay. So you get off the phone with me. Explain to our audience exactly what you would do as soon as you hung up the phone with me on a Telluride prospect.
Okay. Well, there's two things. One, is the vehicle located where I'm at, or is it incoming? So if it's incoming, then it's just going to be a face of me explaining when the vehicle is coming, the specs of the vehicle, and then as well as letting them know that I'm going to keep them updated the entire way. If the vehicle is here in lot, then I'll actually go out to the vehicle and take the video of myself and the vehicle so that they can see it is physically present.
Okay. And so walk me through that. So let's just say the vehicle's there. So walk us through, describe, because if this is a podcast, if people can't see you or what have you, so talk me through and explain what you would do in that video, like literally.
Oh. So first thing is introduction. I will be like, hi, my name is Brenna. You spoke to me earlier on the phone about the 2024 Kia Telluride SX. This vehicle is available today. Then I'll flip the camera around, do a quick walk around of the vehicle, kind of pointing out some key things that are inside of that certain trim line that they were looking for. And then I'll turn it back to me and be like, just so you know, if you do have any other questions, you are more than welcome to contact me at anytime. My contact information is below, my personal and dealership. I'm super excited to help you in your vehicle search. And again, please let me know how we can move forward. I'll give you a call later this afternoon so we can touch base with any questions.
That is phenomenal. Girl, you have no idea. I've been preaching this stuff for many, many, many years on the power of video email, video text message. And for our audience, so you understand, video is the number one form of consumption. So people watch more video than they read, write, talk, or text people. In video, you've got sight, sound, motion, and emotion. You have full signs of communication, whereas a text, chat, or email is only 7% communication. A phone call is only 38% communication. But a video, you have full range of motion, emotion, etc. So I think it's phenomenal what you're doing. I love the strategy. Now, can you tell us and tell our audience, what type of reaction do you get when people open up your videos? Do you get immediate responses, or do they call you back? And what do they say about these videos?
I will say that I get more responses the more videos that I send. Sometimes, they're just shopping around. It's just me introducing, but maybe tomorrow I do another video on the vehicle and I explain the vehicle is still available. Then they're texting me right back, hey, can you show me this specific thing inside of the vehicle? Or can you do one more walk around? Let's say it's a pre-owned vehicle. Can you do one more walk around of the back end? And also I've had a lot of people who are coming. I didn't even know they were coming, and they'll be like, hey, I saw your video. I know it's you. And we go from there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, so that's for a phone up. Talk to me about if I submitted an internet purchase request through, let's just say, Cars Direct, for example, on a 2024 Kia Telluride. So Sean Bradley submitted internet purchase request. Explain to me what your initial video response would be.
I would almost do the same exact thing as a phone up, but instead identifying where they put the lead into. So if you say Cars Direct, I'll be like, hey, Sean, Brenna from Coons Kia. I received your online inquiry from Cars Direct. What a great resource in your vehicle search. The 2024 Kia Telluride being the number one SUV in America. I'm super excited to help you out in your vehicle search for this model. And then I'll continue of my walk around.
I love it. Okay, so we have phone up, we have an internet up. Let's talk about the appointment confirmation process. How do you do that?
Okay, so for appointment confirmation, let's say that they are going ahead, they're coming in today at 1:00. So I'm obviously going to get the vehicle ready for them before they even arrive. If they've done an appointment with me, I've touched the vehicle, I know the condition. So then I go out and be like, hey, this is Brenna. Again, I'm super excited to see you at 1:00 for our scheduled appointment for the 2024 Kia Telluride. As you can see, I got it washed up, ready for you upon arrival, as I'm here to make your time easy and efficient. I want to have you in and out in a timely manner. So go ahead and give me a text, confirm our appointment, so that way I can have everything ready upon your arrival. And then normally I get text or email response back within 5 minutes. And that is the easiest one for me.
I love it. Okay, so what other videos are you making besides for phone up responses, internet prospect follow-up or appointment confirmations? Give us some other videos that you create.
Another one that I do like to do, there's a third party that we like to use, which is called Vehicle iPacket. Great resource with used cars. I don't know if you've used that before, but I love to show my face and explain what the Vehicle iPacket is in there, showing that they're going to have 30 detailed highlighted photos of the vehicles, as well as highlighted features, Carfax links. So I like to go ahead and just introduce myself in that first inquiry and send that information over for any used cars. Used cars being a little harder than new cars, as everybody knows. I like them to be able to see everything on the vehicle, showing its unique personality and more whenever I send the Vehicle iPackets. So that's another way I like to send them as well.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's redirect for a couple minutes here. Do you get any shit from other people at the dealership on how many videos you do?
Maybe sometimes, yes. I like to do about 10 a day.
That's amazing. I love it, because the reason why I'm saying that is that there's always people that hate on other people. Like, why are you doing that? You're wasting your time. You're stupid. So again, I just want our audience to know that if you do this at your dealership, there might be some people that are going to be like, grr, you're wasting your time. You're stupid. You're wasting your time. But obviously it's not, because you have this amazing automotive sales professional here that's selling 20 cars, 22 cars she sold in a month, and not even been in the industry for freaking 10 months yet. And so obviously it's working for her. Will it work for everybody? Well, it depends the effort and the skill you put into it. But I want them to hear it from your words. Don't let anybody and naysayers and haters slow you down from doing this. Mm-hmm. What do you say to that?
And that's the biggest thing. I feel like when it comes to sales, okay, there is always going to be that sales process that you need to follow to help make vehicle search a success. But at the same time, how are you standing out from every other product specialist that's probably reaching out to them at this moment in time? And that's my biggest thing is you have competition out there. This one customer might be looking at the Telluride, but they might be looking at the Palisade, looking at the Grand Jeep Cherokee. So they probably have 10 product specialists reaching out to them. It is the big thing that I like to tell myself is, how do I look different than every other product specialist out there? And it's those videos. Really, it's those videos and getting excited about them working with you and vice versa.
I am so impressed with you because this is stuff that I've been preaching for decades. I'm old, right? That you want to differentiate yourself. That's the whole orange. There's a book from Seth Godin called Purple Cow. In a 1,000-acre field, you don't want to be a black and white cow. You want to stand out. You want to be a purple cow, metaphorically speaking. Let me put some data to, exactly what Brenna just said. NADA says that the average prospect is searching approximately 9 to 11 other dealerships or websites. So if somebody's looking at the Telluride, they might not just be looking at Coons Woodbridge Kia. They might be looking at ABC Kia, XYZ Kia, or to your point, they might be looking at a Hyundai Palisade or a Jeep Grand Cherokee wagon or something else. Or they might be looking at, other websites like AutoTrade or Cars.com, because they might be looking at pre-owned Tellurides that might be at a Ford dealership. So to her point, you might have 9 to 11 other product specialists or websites that are emailing, phone calling, and text messaging. So how are you going to stand out? Okay, well, you could be faster and better through the conventional means, or you could use unconventional means. There's a saying that I love to preach. If you want the things that the average person doesn't have, you have to be willing to do the things the average person isn't willing to do, legally, ethically, and morally speaking. And so using video is incredible. Now, video email, I'm going to give you another nugget. Video email increases read open rates up to 300%. Again, sight, sound, motion, and emotion. All right, let's go and redirect. I told you before we started this interview that my wife is, I didn't say about her, but she's the CEO of the company. My 2 daughters are in the business. My one daughter is 22. Her name is Kalina Bradley. She works at RK Kia in Vineland, New Jersey. And then my other daughter, my older daughter, her name is Tiana Mick, or T Got Your Keys. She worked at Patriot Buick GMC for 3 years on the front lines in retail. And now she's been with our company. So I have 2 young females. My wife's still young too, but then my wife female. And what they tell me is that being a female is different experience. So let's talk about this for a second here. Sometimes people are stupid on social media, and I want to be real with people, and I want to get your perspective as a female automotive professional. Do you ever have stupid people? You know what I mean? Because you send a video. Let's talk about that, because I want to set realistic expectations, and I want you to talk about what type of bullshit you might get. How do you handle it? And should that discourage you? Because I know a lot of females that don't send videos because of various reasons. They're worried about what they look like, because they're fretting over it's got to be a perfect video, or they're worried about, some type of stupid responses that people get. So let me shut up as the dumb guy and have you kind of give your perspective as a female professional.
So one thing, I'll pinpoint off one thing that you did said. I think the one thing that is for women is we do get looked at a little bit differently. And the biggest thing for me is building the rapport with car loving customers that come in, they know what's wrong with the car. They know the mechanics of the vehicle. They know the service records. Mind you, I can look all of this up on Carfax, but I've never worked as a mechanic in my life. I couldn't tell you the components of every piece of engine or transmission, or I'm a woman. I've never worked on cars, I'll say it straight. And you know what? That's something that I say to my customers. I always say, listen, I'm not like every other product specialist. I'm going to be very transparent with you every step of the way. If I do not know something, I'm going to get you in contact with somebody who does. So I do use that as a benefit of using some of my resources with inside of the dealership. But I do have a lot of customers who I've seen I gain a lot more trust with women than I do with men. And I will admit that with men customers can be a little harder because, of course, for generations, it has been salesmen. And I will admit every car that I have purchased prior to me being my product specialist this year has been a man. And so that is the norm of society. You don't walk in and see a lot of women on the sales floor. And that's the truth. So I will say some of the ways that I kind of get over those kind of big kickbacks that I get with customers is, one, using my resources of my managers, using my resources of my certified mechanics who will come out and talk to some of the customers, but also working with Coons. You do have the stamp of approval for almost every used car. having Virginia inspection done, PDIs, and those are things that I can prove as well. So my biggest thing is always having documentation or something to back up what I'm saying. Don't do little white lies unless you can keep up with them or something like that, but always have a documentation that's going to prove what you're saying, because sometimes already people don't like coming in to see us.
Understood. Now, do you feel that by having the videos that not only does it create the transparency, but, I think they could feel like they could get a report, from you, that they feel that they could not only just hear your voice, but maybe by seeing you, it might have an impact of trust. I think that being transparent and being visual might open them up to feeling more comfortable or trusting you. Do you feel that you find that or no?
Yeah, I feel like I do find that a lot, because not only, you could mass blast a video to every single person on the same vehicle, but instead making it more personable to that customer, saying their name, asking how they're doing, hoping that their work day is well, making them feel good. As much as, you want to move forward and you would love to bring them down, it's making them feel good before you bring them down. So that way they are excited to see not only you, but to see the vehicle that you're showing.
Okay. Now and I'm not even being facetious. I'm dead serious. Like I when I try to train people to do this, I have, some men, but more females that are stressing about making the perfect video and everything's in alignment and things like that. So I would just love your opinion. Are you getting prepared, hair, makeup perfectly, or are you just shooting videos?
I'm personally just shooting videos. At the end of the day, I'm not going to look perfect 100% of the time if they come down, and I know that. My biggest thing is making it personable to them, getting that video sent out. And honestly, yeah, you can make yourself look good by just smiling, just understanding that you are normalizing yourself. Instead of making yourself look like this sales professional in a way, normalizing yourself and making yourself a little more human than maybe the next.
Yeah, I want to be clear. Like what we're talking about is you don't have to be freaking model runway chic to be man or women to be to do a video. But on the flip side, you don't want to look like you just roll out of bed and you're disheveled and your hygiene's off. But I think that people have like this negative perception that they have to be perfect. Every hair's got to be in the right place. I don't have any hair, but like has to be in the right place. And as long as you are professional, meaning like, you don't look like you're half asleep and you're, all a hot mess. I want to stress that you don't have to be perfect. And this is a woman who's telling you from her perspective, that's really successful at doing these video communications, video emails, video text messages, and is getting such a high level of engagement and response. She's telling you, she doesn't try to be perfect all the time. She tries to be human and professional. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That too. And it's the tone of your voice. That's one thing that I always say too. You could talk to somebody and be like, hey, Sean, this is Brenna from Coons Kia Woodbridge. I got your online inquiry. No, you got to put some excitement into it. Be like, hey, Sean, this is Brenna. I'm at Coons Kia Woodbridge. I am so excited as I received your online inquiry. Just the tone makes a huge difference on how you're putting yourself out there.
Listen, sales is really simple. It's a transference of energy. If you are not excited about something, how in the hell do you expect your prospect to be excited about something? So the more, without being overly theatrical, but I love the tone and inflection that you just did. That is absolutely perfect. And so here's the other thing. As I'm talking to you, because this is the first time that we've spoken before, I don't know you from a can of paint. And what I notice is that you have the key ingredient that unfortunately not everybody has. You have a personality. As a manager, that's what I'm looking for. All these other statistics and all these other credentials. The number one thing that any automotive professional needs to possess is a freaking personality. You could just tell from this conversation that we're having that you have no problem having a conversation. You're not shy. You're not, clamming up. You have that. So it's really important if you're going to shoot videos. To your point, you ever see honey, my wife I'm talking to, hon, what was that movie? Was it Pitch Perfect? I'm going to eat my twin in the womb. That's Pitch Perfect. You ever see that movie, Pitch Perfect?
That is my favorite movie.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
You don't want to be that person, man or woman, that's like, I ate my twin in the womb. I mean, like you can't turn around and try to talk to somebody on the phone or do a video. So I want everybody, here's my disclaimer, and I think Brenda's going to co-sign this. Video's not magic. You can't be lethargic, boring, disheveled, and shoot a video and think that, oh my God, where I'm going to get a lot of leads, a lot of sales. That's not how this works. So can you stress that? I want them to hear from your voice that video is a medium, but you yourself need to articulate, convey, be passionate. Please, you talk.
No, it's kind of, so I think roll back to like TikTok. We will sit there and we'll scroll on TikTok back and forth. And if something doesn't interest us, we're going to turn it off. Same thing with our videos. If we are not excited throughout the whole video and interacting with the customer through the video, it's just as easy as TikTok. They could turn it off. But having that excitement all the way through, making them want to interact with you by showing vehicles, showing the features that they've been looking for and different things like that. I see a lot more interactiveness that way than I do if I was just to do a walk around of the car and not say anything.
Wow. So what tips do you have for making great video content?
Personality, smile, and get excited about what you're doing. Instead of saying, oh, I have to make this video, say, oh, I get to make this video. I get to make this customer excited about this vehicle, and I get to expand and have the opportunity to make a sale. Because at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but that is what we're doing. We're here to bring customers in to sell cars.
Okay, I want to add to what Brenna's saying, though. A couple other things I want to just give everybody some pro tips on is the two biggest things for video, in my opinion, other than the talent, other than the person shooting the video, is audio and visuals, which means this. You don't necessarily need to have a $50,000 camera. To be quite honest with you, you could use an iPhone. There's been multiple artists like Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande that shot their entire music videos off of a freaking iPhone. So if you could shoot a music video for a platinum recording artist that gets streamed millions and millions of times, then it's good enough quality to make a freaking video to follow up with a prospect. Mm-hmm. But what compromises your video is if you're outside in the rain or hail or snow or wind, nobody wants to hear that crap. No. So you need to make sure that you've got quiet, or you've got good audio, or you've got noise cancellation microphones, stuff like that, so the sound quality will go a huge way. Even if your talent or your comfort level in actually shooting the video isn't perfect yet, you need to make sure that your audio is as good as humanly possible. That's the first thing. The second thing is making sure the visuals are as good as possible. So making sure the lens isn't muddied up or dingy, or there's like snow falling in the background, or it's dark out. So you want to make sure that you are lit, whether it's natural lighting or you have a lighting kit, which is really cheap. And then back to the audio, I would suggest that you have microphones. I don't know if you know this, but there's wireless microphones that you can get that are for the lapel that are like $29 to $30 on Amazon, and they're so good. So I would just say audio and visuals will dramatically enhance the value and quality of your video. So are you using any products? Do you have any stands, stabilizers, microphones, lighting kits, or any of that stuff?
So to kind of bounce off what you're saying, I was going to say I have AirPods. Almost every single person has a pair of Bluetooth headphones these days, and most of those have microphones. That's how I do mine to cut out a lot of the wind. And I really just shoot off. I still have an iPhone 11, and that's what I shoot off of. So my AirPod in one ear, mind you, I have longer hair, so I can tuck it. And then it's my phone. And those are the only two resources that I truly use and need to be able to make a good video.
I love it. So this is not rocket science. It's not that complicated. You just have to have the desire and the willingness to be successful. Okay, good. So is there anything else that you want to add on the video strategy or on the video idea or concept of using videos as much as possible?
I will say I'm going to back up completely. Use it. If you're not big into it, try it for a week. And I can bet you are going to get more responses. You are going to get more interaction with customers. And then you're going to get answers from them as well. They're not going to leave you blank because you just sent them a personal video with your name, with their name in it. How dare they ignore? But try it. Give it a shot. It will definitely help you successfully in sales. I think ever since I have started sending videos back, probably my third or fourth month in sales, I have seen a huge percentage of people responding to me.
Okay, so talk to me about, let's switch gears for a minute here. Selling cars in this post-pandemic reality, what are some of your challenges that you have?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
April 15th to the 17th is the IS20G conference, which is the Millionaire Car Salesman Conference, the Dealer Synergy Conference, the Internet Sales 20 Conference. We're going to be in Baltimore. Be more in Baltimore, April 15th to the 17th. So we're going to start having information probably at the end of this month, beginning of next month. We're going to have the website up. It's still got last year's event, but again, our venue's locked in. We're at the beautiful historic Lord Hotel in downtown Baltimore. We're going to have the biggest, most powerful conference we've ever had. This is our 16th year. Can you imagine doing a conference for 16 years? You can't do anything. It's like the McRib. It's coming back better than before. You know what I'm saying, people?
If you want to get more information on IS20G, just text me the letters IS20G. I know it's letters and numbers.
Or if you want to speak,
send me that.
you want to speak.
Yeah, send it to 267-551-6279. Again, 267-551-6279. I know we also have some companies that sometimes want to sponsor the event. You can also send me those letters and just put the word sponsor, and it'll let me know that that's something that you'd like to do, and we'll be in contact with you. All right.
So Brandon, tell us, what are your biggest challenges?
Honestly, I've not ever sold cars when there wasn't a post-pandemic happening. So we cannot say the excuse of, oh, it's the market. It's
Right.
Also staying in contact with all of those customers. You stop talking to them for 3 days. Guess what? Your competition is out there texting them right now. What is your competition doing over you to bring them in?
So working the CRM is really important. Doing
Yes.
your consistent daily follow-up, being in the CRM, making those phone calls, handling the tasks, the activities. I would agree. I think that's very solid advice. Unfortunately, 90+% of dealership CRMs are broken, they're shot, they're antiquated, garbage in, garbage out, or they're not utilized or managed correctly. So again, if you want to stay in that consistent engagement and follow-up pattern with a prospect or a client, you need to have the continuity of CRM engagement. Okay. Before we go into the activities, because I agree with you 100%, let's go back to the challenges when you're saying market. Is it because cars are expensive and they're hard for people to afford or want to afford, or is it because lack of inventory? When you say market, explain what the challenges are as a sales professional selling cars today.
I'm going to say it's the price. It's the price of vehicles. If you would have looked 3 years ago, and I was looking and buying a car 3 years ago, the pricings were as well. You could see things under MSRP. You saw things, lower in value. Now we're selling at market value, which is a lot different than 2 years ago when we were selling above market value and people were eating them up. And so now you're at a point where the market's leveling out, but interest rates are so high that they get scared. They get wet feet. We get a lot of cash deals in here now, and people who don't want to budge and go up a little bit to finance them because they want to pay cash. They got the money now. They don't want a car payment.
So, that's a couple of different things there. So how do you handle? Let's pretend we're role playing. Whether I'm on a phone or I'm in a text or I'm in the showroom. If we're talking and I'm like on whatever Kia, that's too expensive. How do you handle somebody, like if I'm the prospect and I'm saying that's too much money, that's too expensive? What's your personal strategy to overcome price?
I'm going to take the vehicle away from them a little bit. And I'll be like, okay, understanding this is a vehicle that you have been looking at it a long time. Let's take this away here for a moment. How long do you normally keep your vehicles? That's the one thing I ask.
I'd say on average between 3 and 5 years.
Okay, Understandable. So 3 to 5 years. So Kia, for example, does hold really, really good trade-in values at this time. Kia holds their values really well. They're known as one of the number one vehicles in America right now. Your trade-ins are at high at this moment in time. If you keep your vehicles from 3 to 5 years, I'll also give them a choice. Have you leased or looked at leasing options before, since you do keep your vehicles for such short term?
Okay, so you redirect. Okay, give me good stuff. What else? How else? What other options are there to overcome price? So leasing, or what else?
So let's say they're paying cash. I will try to get them in a way to get them inside of their budget by financing. Big thing for me is switching them to finance. Well, we do have some great financing incentives right now. It looks like we're only just $1,500 away. Are you open to financing? There's no penalty to you if you pay it off early. And we have really competitive rates right now out on the market. We work with over 40 big time lenders. Let's just see if we can give this a try with a bigger down payment. And that's a big thing that I can switch with people, is using their down payment for a lower term to get them into the vehicle that they have desired for so long. The more questions you ask, the more that you can kind of turn it around to them as well.
I love that. Give us an example. You could make it up or from memory of a recent situation. So if I came in, let's talk about a specific car and I wanted to pay X amount of dollars cash and how you flip me into a finance. Let's go through that scenario.
Okay. So actually, I just had one over the weekend. They were coming in to buy a 2018 Ford EcoSport. So yes, we do sell pre-owned as well. They wanted to be fully out the door at $16,000. Mind you, the price of the car was $16,000. I can't get you out the door there with your tax, title, and processing fee. They were kind of upset that I would not discount, but of course, I post my best price online, no haggle, no negotiation. We need to come down to a price. So I said, well, hey, how long have you gone now without a car payment? And she goes, well, actually, I had gap insurance with my last vehicle that just got totaled 2 weeks ago. I said, okay, so you've had a car payment. What was that car payment? She said XYZ. And I went, okay, we could get you even a lower monthly payment than what you are at financing and with that money down. I showed her the options of what it would be out the door if she were to put down a bigger down payment than if she was to just pay all of it in cash. And I told her, I said, it's a benefit to you because not only do you get to save a little money in your pocket and not use all of your down payment or all of the money that's in your savings, you get to pay it off for a little bit and you get gap insurance in case something like that ever happens to you again. Using her previous situation against her. Not against her, but you know what I mean.
But using the field intelligence to be able to create a value package proposition, something that would resonate. Again, you just said something that is extremely important. Asking questions. The more strategic questions you ask, the clearer the picture is. And I don't know if you know this, but the number one reason why people don't buy cars in the United States, it's not price, it's not reputation, it's not availability. It's because they did not qualify the prospect the right way. They didn't land them on the right car. Too much car, too little car, not the right car. And the problem with that is that, unfortunately, a lot of people in our industry do a shitty job in qualifying the prospects. They do a crappy job engaging a true to God needs analysis with a prospect. Because what you just did blows my mind for someone that's only been doing this for 9 months. Because there's people that have been doing this for 9 years that wouldn't think, hey, let me ask some qualifying questions. Let me go through, and use the gap and put that together. But that's what car sales is. Car sales needs to change for every specific prospect you have in there. Let me explain. Everybody that is not successful, if you looked at yourself and found out why aren't you selling a lot of cars, you're probably trying to sell cars the same way to every single person. Everybody comes into the dealership or is on the phone, is in the internet. You have the same process like the alphabet, A, B, C, D, F, G. But you got to remember, not everybody is the same. Everybody has their own different situation, their own budget, their own needs, their own experiences, their own past experiences. And the more that we qualify them, identify their wants, wishes, expectations, the more that we understand their their past. History leaves clues, right? Then we could create a custom value package proposition. We could create a custom presentation that fits hand in glove with this particular situation, but you are spot on, Brenna, spot on. We need to ask the right strategic questions. I love that. All right. So besides, the pricing, you also said the interest rate. So how do you overcome that? If somebody says, oh, hell no, let's talk about what is Kia's average interest rate right now in your state?
For top tier credit, around 5 to 6%.
5 to 6%? Are you crazy? Holy crap! I've got great credit. I mean, like, man, what do you think I am? A bad credit customer? I don't have a bankruptcy. How are you going to charge me 5-6%? I'm just role playing as a prospect.
No, I got
How do you handle that? How do you handle that when you just hit me and I got to peel me off the ceiling because you're telling me a 5 or 6% interest rate? What's your response?
Well, I always say one thing is, okay, shop around finance rates right now because you're not going to find a more competitive one. Just be blatant honest. I always say that the normal 2-3% that we would have seen maybe 3 years back is the now 5-6%. I said I have mid-tier credit and they were able to get me the most competitive rate on the market with my mid-tier credit, let alone your top tier credit. I know I'm going to take care of you and get you the most competitive interest rate. I always try to kind of stick away from going over interest rates, going over monthly payments, because of course we do have a great finance team who takes care of all of that and goes over it with them. But I always try to take a little bit of letting them know, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you, and giving them that little feel good of, okay, so she is going to take care of me. With interest rates being high, I always let people know, I said, go ahead, shop around because you're not going to see very much. You're also not going to see a lot of special financing like there might have been 3 years ago either. So that's another thing that I get a lot of kickback on is, oh, are there any special financing? Oh, is there any special financing? There is, but it's either special financing or discount. What's more important to you? Because again,
100%.
You can refinance in a year.
Now, other than the finance rate, the cash deals, the pricing, what about availability? Like if there's a vehicle that's not available, now you're part of a gazillion-dollar dealer group now, so that's different. You have multiple stores and all this other stuff, but how do you handle if somebody's looking for a particular car and you don't have it available right then and there?
So we actually, when I first started, that was a big thing, was availability, especially for the MPV, the Kia Carnival. Those are super hard to find. The Kia Sportage Hybrid, super hard to find. I put the emphasis on how popular they are. Like, of course, you want to be in the most popular vehicle in America. I do this thing where either I order directly from the manufacturer, tell them, hey, you can get exactly what you want from the manufacturer, colors, trim, features, everything. But I will let you know, obviously, since we have to create it, it's going to be about 8 to 12 weeks. Are you okay with that? And if they're okay with that, I'll be like, okay, cool. Let's start building your vehicle. Now bring them back over so that they can start. Let's say it's an incoming unit. I try to put popularity on the vehicle. Like, this vehicle is hot. When it arrives, I already know that I work with 14 other sales specialists. They're going to be calling their people too. Would you like to place a deposit hold for the one that's arriving? And get them to kind of make that commitment before the vehicle is even here.
Okay, so I love this. And these are things that are definitely able to help. Either A, if they're not in a rush, you could do a factory direct order, or by the grace of God, if there's an inbound, unit that fits their exact needs, you're going to sell them and put in a deposit down because it's going to be gone, which it probably will be, especially for Tellurides and things like that, or the ones you just mentioned. And if they're like, no, I need a car now, how do you handle that?
If I need a car now, I look at other dealerships around me. I get in contact with my general sales manager and I say, hey, can we try to get this vehicle here on our lot? Can we DX it? Can we dealership exchange? One way that we can get inventory a little bit quicker than maybe from the manufacturers themselves is contacting other dealerships. Hey, do you want to switch out vehicles? I got somebody on this one that I'd love to switch you with. So we have done that a few times as well.
And Koons has a huge used car inventory and they have a great used car program. So do you find success, or is it realistic that somebody's coming in on a new vehicle and you're able to flip them to a pre-owned?
I have done that a couple of times. I will admit that whenever I do switch them from new to used, I always make sure that it's fitting with inside of their
Okay.
things that they want, I should say. For example, making sure it's a little bit of lower miles. I'm not going to switch a new car person to a pre-owned vehicle that has 76,000 miles on it. I'm going to try to stay 20 and below. I'm going to try to stay at least 2 years after this new vehicle, and then as well as making sure all of the features are the exact same. I have done that a few times with Tellurides. Tellurides are very popular among consumers, and we don't get very many pre-owned ones, but it's nice whenever somebody might not be able to make that new one fit into their budget to be able to get them on that used 2020 that only has 22,000 miles on it and the same features that they're looking for inside of the 24s.
Okay, let's totally redirect. If you're selling about 20 cars a month, where do you get your cars from? I'm going to lead you a little bit. There's 8 ways that a showroom salesperson has to be able to sell a car: walk-in ups, be-backs, internet, phone, prior customers, orphan owners, service conversions, referrals, and the lost art of prospecting. There's 8 specific ways. Where are you getting your 22 cars from in a month? The majority.
Phone ups and walk-ins.
So phone ups and walk-ins. Here's what's mind-blowing to me is that you are selling 20 plus cars approximately, or you sold 22 cars, you know what I mean? And I know sometimes it's not always like that every month, but you've sold 22 and a half cars in a month, and you're living off of just phone ups and walk-ins. Can you imagine what you're going to be able to do if you're able to leverage internet leads, orphan owners? Even though you're brand new, you might not be able to have a whole book of business yet that's realistic because you've just been selling cars for 9 months. But there's a lot of people that have purchased vehicles from your dealership and your group that those salespeople are no longer there. So getting your hands on orphan owners. Referrals are huge. NADA says that if somebody buys a car today, even if if they bought from elsewhere, from your competitor, someone else in their household is going to buy within the next 90 days. So pumping every single person you come in contact with for referrals is going to be huge. Mm-hmm. Now, do you know that you have somebody from your sister group, from one of your sister stores, from White Marsh Chevrolet? There's a woman named Morgan Anderson. Morgan sells like 40 to 55 cars a month. At 20 cars a month comes out of her service drive. So you have a female from Coons Automotive, from the Chevy dealership from White Marsh, that sells, more than double what you're selling, but mm-hmm. she's getting 18 to 20 cars a month, almost what you're selling total. She gets just that from working the service drive. NADA says that a service customer is 7 times as likely to purchase a vehicle from they service their cars from. So, how are you doing referrals or generating your own prospects? Like, have you had any luck yet in getting referrals, or have you had any luck in generating your own prospects from friends, family, social media, or just upping random people in the street? Like, how do you sell cars?
So I have one person comes to mind immediately. I was out with my family in DC, and there was this guy who was sitting there talking to us as we walked into his shop. He was telling me he was looking for a Kia Stinger. I shot my head over and I was like, "Hey, my name's Brenna. I work at Coons Kia. I have a huge selection of Stingers right now. Which one are you looking for?" We sat there and we talked there for probably 15 minutes in the middle of the shop at DC. And he called me 2 days later. I had the blue Stinger available in lot, and he came down, worked with me for almost 3 hours, was a joy. And he has sent me 2 prospects since. He has sent me 2 people that he was like, "Hey, they're looking for a Kia EV6 and this person's looking for a Kia Carnival. Can you please help them out in the best ways possible?" This morning, I had one of my customers that I worked with about 2 months ago just pop up randomly out of the blue. And he was like, "Hey, Brenna, how you doing?" And I was like, "Hey, it is so nice to see you." And now his wife is looking for a Sportage Hybrid. So building that rapport, making yourself memorable, they're going to come back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. There's a guy, I don't know, because you guys are my client. Your whole group has been working with us for years, and we love working with you guys. In Bradley On Demand, in our video on demand training, tracking, testing, certification program, we have Cody Carter's entire system in there. Cody Carter sold 140 cars on the showroom floor the previous month. He made $112,000 in personal income. He sold 1,200 units last year in 2022 and made $1.1 million selling freaking Toyotas. Here's one of the ways that he did it. He has enveloped himself in all these groups. There's the 2024. You go to Facebook, go into 2024 Grand Highlander. You don't need to do this, but just follow my analogy here. He's got, because you sell Kias, he's in the Toyota Tacoma group, the Toyota Tundra group. He's in the Toyota Camry group, the Toyota Corolla group, the Toyota EV group. He's in the new Toyota group. He's in the used car Toyota group. So here's my recommendation for you. You should be finding all of the Kia groups, the new Kia Facebook groups, the used Kia Facebook groups. You should be in the Telluride, in the Stingray, in the Sportage, in the Sorrento groups. You should be in whatever freaking Kia groups that you could find online. And the key is this: don't just spam them. Oh, you want to buy a car? You want to buy a car? Because that's, first of all, against most of the rules. But you're just part of the community, like Mr. or Mrs. Rogers' neighborhood. As if you're in the Stinger group or you're in the Telluride group, you could be posting pictures and videos and content, or you could be answering questions or putting blog posts or putting details in there, whatever. And think about it. There's these groups that exist that are specifically for that particular make, model, or whatever. So I don't know if you're really in all those type of groups, but you should really take advantage of them.
No, that is a great way. Again, I'm still new to the Northern Virginia area, so I've not really put myself out there, but that is a great way. That's one that I've not even thought of yet.
Well, I got another one for you too, but I just picked your brain for my audience for the last, 50 minutes. And so I believe that you provided inspiration, motivation, and some details to help other automotive professionals. And so my way of saying thank you for your time is I want to help you as a national trainer and coach. This is the type of stuff that you'll find in Bradley Demand. Everything I'm telling you right now is in Bradley Demand. Cody Carter is in Bradley Demand. Ali Reda, the guy that broke the Guinness Book of World Records, has an entire, section in Bradley Demand. This guy sold 1,582 units in a year, 209 cars in 1 month, 35 cars in 1 day. He's got 2 assistants and everything, but it's legit. He makes 1.5 or more millions of dollars a year selling Chevys and Cadillacs in Michigan. Frank Crenity, I have his entire system pretty much in my platform. He was signed, as a partner with my Bradley and Demand. And he, from the second he wakes up to the second he sells 110 units a month at Piazza Honda. On the floor, 30 cars a month comes off of his personal Facebook page. So success leaves clues. My clients love me because I've been doing this for 20 years. I've owned this company. I've been in the business 25 years. Not only am I a 30 car plus guy myself, but I partner with everybody else that I find from the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, the podcast. And we have also Chrissy Burton. Chrissy Burton is the number 1 female. She's got no assistants, and she sold 74 cars in 1 month. And she's at a Hubler Chevrolet, all special finance deals. You should be in Bradley Demand. You're already a client and going through Ali Reda. I'm going to show you really quick just because I really respect what you're doing. And I think it's amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in. So the people that are listening to the podcast, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm actually taking Rena right now to Bradley on Demand, which she's got a full access to. You log into here and you log into Bradley on Demand. First of all, we have content in here for showroom sales, internet sales, BDC, CRM. And on top of it, all my Bradley Demand clients, including you, have access to live training webinars on a daily basis. We do 3 to 8 interactive Zooms. So you could train with our high-level trainers, coaches, subject matter experts. But watch, when you log in here, there's everything from, new hires to CRM. You're on Reynolds and Reynolds at there. Look, we have an entire section on how to master Reynolds and Reynolds CRM to get more out of it. Now, in addition to that, I got full-blown showroom sales, everything from projecting for the phone sales, right? Inbound, outbound, objections, rebuttals, customer worksheets, text messaging training, internet sales. Here, showroom sales, projecting, forecasting, the 8 ways to sell, the new road to the sale, the traditional road to the sale, customer needs assessment, objections and rebuttals. Now, here's what I was going to show you. How crazy is this? This guy right here, Ali Reda, makes $1.5 million a year selling cars. His system right here, all the interviews that I did with him, all the breakdown. There's hours and hours of content from Ali Redder, who broke the Guinness Book of World Records. Cody Carter, the guy that I just told you made $1 million last year. I flew to his dealership and I used his dealership like a Hollywood studio. I did the entire road to the sale. He talks about his own website, which is retrackautos.com, that gets 300 leads a month with no advertising. All of his stuff that he does for social media. Chrissy Burton, everything she does is being a female in automotive to her special finance strategy. So how crazy is that you have at your fingertips all of this? You're already a 20 plus automotive professional and you're only scratching the surface. Now, on here, this is crazy too. Watch this. There's a section that we have with BombBomb. So BombBomb is like co-video. So under digital marketing, right? So if you go under, there it is, under digital marketing, I have an entire section built for someone like you. How to create videos, what videos to create for a video strategy for a salesperson, for showroom sales, for internet sales, for BDC, for CRM, and for examples. This talks about everything on the best way to like even just do a car walk around, how to hold the camera. How to hold the camera, how to create walkarounds. So again, this is why corporate told you to talk to me, is that you are crushing it. But if you synergize with this information here, you're going to be able to absolutely crush it. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is I wrote an international best-selling book called Googleopoly, and I specialize in digital marketing. And so I have an entire section here for how you could drive traffic as a salesperson. Everything from how to leverage social media, Facebook, Instagram. Look at this. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. My daughter, who sold cars, has got over 4 million views. She's got one video that got 2.5 million organic views. She spotted 10 cars off of one free video. I have a section here on how you could be developing videos for you. Let me give you the last pro tip and I'll let you go about your day and selling some cars. 2 takeaways that I would do just talking to you for this quick amount of time. 1, you need to get a TikTok channel and a YouTube channel immediately. Let me finish. Every day, you should be creating video walkarounds and comparison videos. You should have a video on your entire Kia lineup. And let's just use the Telluride, for example. You should have videos, the Telluride, why it's better than, let's just say, the Toyota, 4Runner, or why it's better than the Chevy Traverse, or why it's better than the, Ford Expedition, or whatever else you want to compare it to, or the BMW 5 Series, or the Mercedes GL, 350. And you could say one of the things, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. You might be shocked. You might be looking at a GL 350 and that's a Benz again, but look, do you want to have all of the creature features comfort for a fraction of the price? And on top of that, okay, the Kia has a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, America's best warranty, 5 years, 60,000, bumper to bumper. You can't get that with the Benz. And I'm telling you right now, if you got to do an oil change and this other stuff, it's way more expensive. So let me show you. So my point is, you know how much content you could create? And not only if you create that content and you optimize the keywords and meta tags and descriptions, you could have search engine optimization on YouTube or TikTok. On top of that, you could repurpose these videos. So instead of just doing those personal videos, now you have a bunch of content that you could recycle. So instead of doing, I love the personalized videos, but on top of that, you could create what's called a content asset library and have videos on the Kia. You could have a whole library of video testimonials. You could also have how-to videos, how to buy a new car, how to buy a used car, how to get the most for your trade. If you've got bad credit, no credit, how you can reestablish your credit, how you could establish credit for the first time. So there's so much content you could create that is evergreen that you could repurpose over and over for everybody. How strong is that?
I love it. I love it.
Yo, listen, this is what I do. You know what I mean? And the last thing I'm going to say is this. My daughter talks about this. I need to hook you up with Kalina at Kia, but my other daughter, Tiana, I'm going to have her reach out to you, set up a free strategy session. Her whole thing is find your tribe. My daughter is part of the LGBT community. She is married. She's got a wife and everything like that. So when she was selling cars, she had her own website, tgotyourkeys.com, but she was doing Facebook and Instagram ads targeting females, targeting people in the LGBT community, and targeting the Hispanic community because she's a Latina, So again, you are from the medical profession. Are you kidding me? This is the most powerful shit that I'm going to tell you on this conversation is this. Yo, stop trying to sell cars like everybody else. I'm about to unlock you right now. All right, Brenna. Everybody sells cars onesies and twosies because that's how everybody else sells cars. Who told you have to do that? Don't color in the lines. Be the disruptor. Be Netflix to Blockbuster. Be Uber to the Yellow Cab. Be Airbnb to the Marriott. Be Fashion Nova to Macy's. Do you see what I'm saying? How do you do that? Find people that are in a big community. For example, military, law enforcement, and first responders. Do you know that Kia has a first responder discount? Are you aware of that? So why you're a medical professional, okay? During the pandemic, you should be targeting your people, hospitals, fire departments, as well as, this is some crazy shit I'm about to say here, and paramedics or EMTs. Here's what I would say. Let's just pretend I had your background 8.5 years as a nurse or nurse assistant or whatever in the medical field. Hi, my name is Sean Bradley, and I am a former medical professional. I spent 8 years as a nurse or nurse assistant, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm in the automotive industry, and I'm reaching out to everybody in the medical industry because that's what I know. For first and foremost, I appreciate everything that you do on a daily basis because I lived it. I've done it. Here's where my credentials are. And so I want to give you the most incredible experience because if you're out saving lives and doing this, you shouldn't have to worry about a car payment. You shouldn't have to worry about getting cracked like a baby seal by some, shady person. If you work with me, you're going to understand that I am here to help you because I came from your world. And so here are the benefits. First and foremost, I work at a multi-billion-dollar organization and we have all these benefits, value package, value package, value package, value package. However, my brand is Kia. We actually have a special first responder or medical person discount and experience. Boom, boom, boom. Now what you do is you go through all your connections. Let's just say the hospital, if you worked at, by me, it's a virtual hospital. If I freaking had your background, I would go to virtual hospital and whoever I got to talk to and say, hey, look, you remember me, right? 8 years in here saving lives with you guys. Guess what? I sell cars. How about this? First and foremost, you don't have to buy a car from me. Let me help you. Reach out to me to let me know what you're doing before you get cracked. Let me look at your paperwork. Let me make sure you're getting the most for your trade. Let me make sure that you're getting a fair deal. Let me make sure that I can help you get the best scenario because that's for free. That's out of respect for working with you for 8.5 years. However, if you do want to purchase a vehicle, guess what? Here's what I'm going to be able to do for you. Boom, 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 boom. I'll offer free delivery to your home or office. I don't even mind coming at lunchtime to do an off-site product presentation to one of the doctors or nurses, etc. Girl, do you understand what I just told you? I just gave you the freaking cheat code to this video game called car sales. Stop trying to sell one car. Start selling organizations. How fucking awesome would it be if that hospital or hospitals on a daily, weekly basis was giving you referrals? Bam, 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 bam. It's called macro selling versus micro selling.
That just blew my mind a little bit, for sure. Not one thing that I would have thought of. I would not have thought of that.
This is 25 years I've been doing this. That's why. That's why I'm a multimillionaire car salesman. This is what I do. And so I appreciate you bringing your insight to the automotive industry. I'm going to say this as we close out. I think that there needs to be more females in automotive. I think there needs to be more females in leadership positions in automotive. And I think that the automotive industry isn't what it was in the 70s, 80s with a negative reputation. I think that this career, there's so much money that could be earned and made. And there's so many different diversities, whether it's showroom sales, internet sales, BDC, CRM, digital marketing, advertising, F&I, etc. But, not a lot of people understand that this is an amazing career. And you are on the trajectory. You're on the right path right now for not only making this a great career, but you are also, in my opinion, lighten this up. You personify what possibility is. Think about that. You've only been in this for 9 months and you have all the success. And I just showed you, you're not even scratching the surface.
Mm-mm. No.
So I look forward to sharing in your success. I look forward to seeing your rise and your trajectory. And I don't know if anybody's told you, you should be very proud of yourself. What you've done in such a short time is spectacular. And I'm very proud that you guys are my client and that, that I get to talk to you today and share your story and your ideas and your insights. The best is yet to come. So anything you want to say? You're welcome. Now, this is your last. You close out. You want to say anything to the industry? There's tens of thousands of people that are going to be listening to you. So, what's your closing out?
Don't let anybody stop you. Be the person that you want to be the salesperson that you want to be, and you'll take off from there.
So there you have
Absolutely.
it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.